Good morning, students. Welcome back to the online class. I hope you all are doing fine. So, as we were with the lesson sorting materials into group, so far we have discussed about the properties of materials. Okay, some of the properties we have already discussed in the previous video. Okay, that were hardness, appearance, and soluble or insoluble. Okay. So when we were discussing about soluble or insolubility, we got that some of the substances they get mixed, yes, while some others they do not get mixed. So the substance which get mixed were soluble and those which do not get mixed were known as insoluble. So in this activity, see in this figure, okay, what it is written, some liquids mix well with water while some others do not. So in this first beaker, what is there? There is water, and what we have added? We have added a kerosene. Okay, we added kerosene. So now this kerosene is getting mixed with the water. Okay, so that means it is soluble. But in this second figure, we have water. Yes, we have water, and what we have added? We have added oil. Okay, oil. But here what happens is the oil, it do not get mixed completely with the water. Okay, the oil will remain on top of the surface of water. Okay, so this is called what? Insoluble. Yes, so like that. Now today let's continue with the other property of material, which is objects may float or sink in water. Okay, so objects may float or sink in water. So float here means what? When an object is floating, it means the object will not get mixed. Okay, or the object, it will not go inside the water, it will remain on the surface. Where? On the surface. Okay, on the surface. And in case of sink, what happens? The objects, it will go below the water. It will go where? Below or inside. Okay, in the water, it will go inside or it will go below. Okay, we can say below or inside. Okay, so now let's see which substances they float and which substances they do not float. Okay, so see here, some of these materials that did not mix with water float onto the surface of water. So what? These substances which do not get mixed, they will what? They will float on the surface of water. For example, oil. Okay, oil also, it floats on the water. Yes, and others may have sunk to the bottom of the tumbler. Others, they will get sunk, that means they will go inside the tumbler. For example, if we are adding, if this is the water in a glass and if we are adding sand, okay, what will happen? The sand will go inside the water. Okay, it will get settled here at the bottom. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, now again let's see, dried leaves fallen on surface of a pond, a stone that you throw in this pond. Okay, that means what? These are some example. Okay, dried leaves are very light in weight, its weight is very light, halka hota hai ki nahi? Yes, so dried leaves, what will happen with the dried leaves? It is, if it falls on the water, they will float. Okay, they will float on the surface of the water. But if you throw a stone on the pond, will the stone float on the water? Will you be still able to see the stone on top of the water? No. So that means what? The stone will get sink. Okay, it will go below the water, it will go to the bottom of the water. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, again more example is given here. Few drops of honey that you let fall into a glass of water. What happens to all of this? Again, if you drop a honey, you know honey means madhu. So if you drop a honey in water, will the honey float or will the honey go inside the water? What do you think? So honey will settle at the bottom. That means it will go inside. Okay, that means the honey will get sink. Okay, so these are the examples which is given. Again, you can collect more this kind of examples, which objects they float and which objects they do not float. Okay, and which objects they sink. Okay, so these are the examples. So this is the property of material, which is objects may float or objects may sink in water. Okay, now let's go to the another property, which is transparency. Okay, now let's say about transparency. Okay, what is transparency? You might have played the game of hide and seek. Think of some places where you would like to hide so that you are not seen by others. Why did you choose those places? Would you have tried to hide behind a glass window? Yes, we all do play hide and seek. When we are playing hide and seek, one person hides. Yes, so when you are hiding, in which type of place do you hide? Do you hide behind a glass window? Do you hide behind a glass? No, we do not hide behind a glass. We never hide. Why? Because our friends, they will be able to see us. There is no meaning of hiding behind a glass. Okay, because everyone can see through. Yes, so that's the reason. Okay, so now let's see. Obviously not, as your friends can see through and spot you. Means friends can find. So we do not hide behind the glass. Can you see through all the materials? No, we cannot see through all the materials, but we can see through glasses. Glass is also a material through which we can see, but we cannot see through all the materials. Okay, those substances or materials through which things can be seen are called transparent. Okay, what is transparent? Those substances or materials through which things can be seen are called transparent. Okay, if it is transparent, then we can see through. Okay. For transparent, example is what? Glass, water, air, and some plastics. Okay, and some of the plastics, they are what? Transparent, because we can see through. Okay, examples of transparent materials. Okay, shopkeepers usually prefer to keep biscuits, sweets and other eatables in transparent containers of glass or plastic, so that buyers can see these items. Yes, shopkeepers, they keep the eatables, sweets, chocolates, biscuits, they keep where? In a transparent container. Yes, see, all these bottles are what? All these bottles are what? They are transparent. Yes, because we can see through. What is there inside? We can see from the outside. Yes, so why? So that people can see, and if you see, then you will feel like buying and eating the sweets. Yes, so that is why. So these are what? Transparent. So these containers, they may be made of what? Plastic also, or may be made of glass also. Yes, okay. On the other hand, there are some materials through which you are not able to see. Okay, we cannot see. So these substances are called what? Those are called opaque. Okay, those are called opaque. Through which we cannot see, it is called opaque, and through which we can see, it is called transparent. Okay, you cannot tell what is kept in a closed wooden box, a cardboard carton, or a metal container. Yes, if something is kept inside an wooden box or inside a cardboard carton or a metal container, we cannot say, without looking inside, we cannot say what is there. Okay, so example of opaque objects are like wood, cardboard, metals. Okay, wood, cardboard, metals, these are the examples of opaque. Okay, opaque object. Even wall of your house, can you see through the wall? If there is no window or if there is no door, can you see through? No. So even the wall is a opaque object. Okay, like that, through which we cannot see, those are called opaque object. Understood? So far we got how many types of objects? Two. They are transparent object and opaque objects. Now let's discuss about the third type of object. Okay, for that let's see this activity. Take a sheet of paper and look through it towards a lighted bulb. Make a note of your observation. So when we take a sheet of paper and if we put a torchlight through it, okay, so what we can see? We will see blurry. Yes, we will see blurry image. Yes, and now put 2 to 3 drops of some oil and spread it on the sheet of paper. Okay, now what we shall do? We'll take a paper and on the paper what we will apply? We will apply oil. Okay, look again towards the lighted bulb through that portion of the paper on which the oil has been spread. Now what we will do? Again we will put a torchlight and again we shall see through the paper. Okay, do you find that the bulb is more clearly visible than before? So what will you find? Now we will be able to see the bulb more clearly than before. Before means what? Before applying oil on the paper. Okay, after applying oil, what? We can see the bulb of the torchlight more clearly. Okay, but can you see clearly through the oiled paper? But will you be able to see very clear image through the oil paper? No, we cannot see. Is everything on the other side of it visible? No, of course not. So see here, perhaps not. The materials through which object can be seen but not clearly are known as what? Translucent. Okay, so this type of objects through which we can see but not clearly are called what? Translucent. Understood? We can see but not clearly. Okay, that means what? Translucent. Understood? Okay, let's see one more example. Okay, for this example we shall take a torchlight. Okay, so see in this image, this is a torchlight. Yes, hold it with one of your arm. Okay, and now let's put one of our hand, means the palm. Okay, this portion is known as palm of our hand. Okay, so let's put one of our palm on top of the lighted torch. Okay, what do we see? We can see the shape of the light which is coming from the torchlight. Yes, through the hand. See on top we can see it is getting, this portion gets light. Yes, so what type of object is our palm? What will be your answer? Whether it is transparent, opaque or translucent, what will be the answer? So think. Okay, so it is what? It will be translucent. Okay, so overall what we have learned in this lesson? We learned that materials differ in appearance, the way they mix in water or other liquids, they may float or they may sink, they may be transparent, opaque or translucent. So these are what? These are the properties which we have discussed. Okay, and why do we need to know about the properties of materials or things? Why? So that we can separate the materials. Okay, so that materials can be grouped on the basis of similarities or differences in their properties, so that it becomes easy to separate things. Okay, and why we need to separate things? So that we can find out the things easily whenever it is needed. Okay, if we separate and if we group the things into different places, then we can find out very easily. Okay, and we can also differentiate. Okay, so this is all about the lesson. I hope you all have understood. So thank you.